At Yonsei University, one of Seoul's top private universities for business, Yin and Jungkook are second-year students in the same major but different classes. They met during freshman orientation. 3 weeks later, Jungkook confessed, straight to the point, and Yin said yes. They've been together for a year now. The relationship is good, only occasionally colored by small arguments, mostly because Yin gets jealous easily. It's understandable. Jungkook is handsome, on the basketball team, smart, and comes from a well-off family. Plenty of girls secretly like him, even though Jungkook is always cool and keeps his distance, including with female classmates. He knows Yin often gets anxious about that, so he prefers to play it safe and avoid drama. On the other hand, Yin is pretty, bright, cheerful, and from a well-off family too. She fits in easily with her friends. Jungkook, however, isn't very jealous. He trusts her. Besides, the clingy, easily worried Yin is too afraid of losing him to even think about cheating. What often gives Jungkook a headache is just one thing. Yin gets jumpy about every girl who comes near him, in class, in the corridor, or during basketball practice, so he has to be extra patient, calming her little sulks. The corridor is still crowded with students leaving class. A girl from Jungkook's class works up the courage to approach him as he steps out. "Jungkook, can I ask you about next week's material? I mean, could you maybe help teach me? It's just that She smiles nervously, clearly trying to get close. Jungkook turns, voice even and polite. "Maybe ask one of the others, yeah? I need to walk my girlfriend out first." He gives a small nod and heads toward Yin. Yin pretends to study the notice board, lips in a pout. Her class ended early, and she planned to wait for him. Jungkook stops beside her and leans in. "Baby, what are you looking at?" He fights a grin, watching her pretend to read something random on the board with that sulky mouth. "Hey, look at me." Yin shoots him a half-annoyed glance. "I'm just, jealous?" "A bit." She holds up two fingers. "Okay, a lot." Jungkook sighs softly. "I know my limits. You're number one, baby." He smooths the fringe that's fallen onto her forehead. "Come on, cafeteria. You haven't eaten, have you?" Yin nodded, her sulk slowly melting away. Though her movements still looked a bit annoyed, she pulled Jungkook's arm into a hug as they walked. Jungkook simply stayed quiet, letting Yin do whatever she wanted. Practice ends. The team manager, a female student, hands a sports drink to Jungkook. From the stands, Yin sits up straighter, eyes narrowing. Jungkook accepts it briefly, gives a minimal thanks, then jogs up to the stands. He sits one step below Yin and looks up. "Okay, who made your eyebrows shoot up just now?" The team manager, her smile, "Way too friendly at you." People can be friendly, people can smile, but who am I going home with? He lifts both hands. "I want to hold your hand. Come here." Yin steps down one row and sits right next to him, offering her hand while propping her chin with the other, still pouting. Jungkook laces their fingers together. "Better?" he asks gently. Yin studies him for a moment, then shakes her head a little. "Not yet. Hug." Jungkook laughs under his breath and slips an arm around her shoulders. Nothing over the top, just warm and steady. "Like this?" Decent," she mumbles, cheeks warming. She knows her sulks can be a handful, but Jungkook is always patient, like his patience never runs out. That night, on a quiet city park bench, they sat side by side beneath golden ginkgo leaves drifting down. In the distance, a bus hummed past, and a bicycle rolled along the path. Jungkook tugged Yin's scarf snug around her neck, while Yin slid her hands into the pockets of Jungkook's jacket, for warmth and for an excuse to be closer to the man she loved. "Hey, remember orientation week?" Yin asked softly, eyes forward but sneaking a glance at him. "You were standing in front of the basketball club booth, so cool, like a walking poster." Jungkook chuckled, dipping his head before looking back at her. "I remember. You walked by, stopped for like 2 seconds, then pretended to read a brochure, upside down." "Busted, huh?" Yin grimaced, cheeks pink with cold and embarrassment. "Back then, I thought you were kinda stuck up." "Nah," he said, smiling crookedly. "I was actually watching you. You were really pretty. That's why once we started talking and kept running into each other, I rushed to confess. Didn't want to let anyone beat me to it." Yin shifted closer until the space between them almost disappeared. "Good thing I said yes." "Good thing," he answered, quiet and warm. The night grew quieter. Their breaths showed in the cold air. Jungkook shifted a little, and closing both of Yin's hands where they hid in his jacket pockets. "Cold?" he whispered. "A little," Yin answered, a shy smile tugging at her lips. "But not my heart." Jungkook let out a soft laugh. He adjusted the scarf at her neck again, then looked at her longer, warm, never pushing. May I? He didn't finish, asking instead with his eyes as they flicked to her lips. Yin gave a small nod. Yeah. Jungkook leaned in slowly. His forehead touched hers first, steady, as if giving their heartbeats time to calm. Their noses brushed. Yin closed her eyes, drawing a breath that trembled by accident. Jungkook waited a beat to make sure she was comfortable, then kissed her, soft at first, before the kiss deepened, more intent. After a few moments, they eased apart. Like this, okay? He murmured. Yin nodded, cheeks flushed, and tugged the edge of his jacket to pull him closer. I want more. This time, Jungkook cupped her face, warm and sure. His kiss came slow, sweet, patient, unhurried. Yin let her eyes fall shut, letting the day's worries dissolve into the hush of the park. And when their lips finally parted, I love how you always ask first, Yin said quietly. It makes me feel safe. I love how honest you are with your feelings, Jungkook replied. If you're jealous, just tell me, then I don't have to play guessing games. Yin smiled and rested her head on his shoulder. Okay, but you too, if I start being dramatic, hug me first, it helps. Jungkook chuckled. Deal. He drew her closer, his chin resting on her scarf. They fell silent for a while, savoring the simple warmth, joined hands and matching breaths. Thank you, Yin whispered. For what? For being patient, for waiting, for this? She gestured at the little space between them that no longer existed. Jungkook smiled. When it comes to you, I don't mind doing whatever it takes. They finally stood. Jungkook took Yin's hand and slipped it back into his jacket pocket. Head home? Home, Yin said. Before they took a step, she stole a quick kiss at the corner of Jungkook's mouth, light and teasing. For motivation. Jungkook chuckled at his girlfriend's antics. Careful, once we're in the car, I'm gonna ask for another kiss, hotter than the last one. You usually do ask for something wilder in the car, Yin giggled. They walked side by side, with Yin staying snuggled up against him the whole way. One afternoon, tall shelves stood in quiet rows. They sat facing each other, each buried in their coursework. Then Jungkook's pen stopped. His eyes drifted unfocused over a line of formulas. Yin closed her laptop gently. You haven't been focused. Jungkook hesitated, then exhaled. My mom, her heart condition's acting up. She's had it for years. Usually it passes, but this time it's a bit worse. Not bad enough to go to the hospital, but she's weak. His last words cracked a little. Yin reached out and touched the back of Jungkook's hand. You're really worried? Yeah, my dad's at home too. He took the day off. Then why are you here? Why not go home? I need to finish this assignment. It's due tomorrow, but I'm almost done, really. Finish it at home tonight. I want to visit your mom now. Yin glanced at the wall clock. It's still early. I'm coming with you. Jungkook looked up fast, disbelief softening into something warm. You sure? I've asked you to come over a few times, and you always said you weren't ready. Yin smiled, a little shy. I'm still shy, but today I want to be beside you, and beside your mom. There was a small warm pause before Jungkook squeezed her hand tight. Thank you, baby. They hurried to the parking lot and got into their own cars. Yin started the engine and texted, I'm right behind you. At the first red light, she flipped on her left blinker and sent another. Can we stop by a bakery? I want to get your mom's favorite cake. Jungkook replied, of course, baby. They pulled up at a well-known bakery. Yin scanned the display case. Which one does your mom like? Jungkook pointed at the strawberry shortcake with light cream. That, since I was a kid. Yin ordered a small round cake and asked for chocolate. Lettering on top, get well soon, Annie. Jungkook watched, quietly moved. When the cashier read the total, Yin handed over her card. On me. Consider it a treat from her shy future daughter-in-law. Yin. Jungkook nudged her lightly. What? Thank you, he said, simple, sincere. A housekeeper opened the door and led them into the family room. Jungkook's mother, pale but smiling, sat reclined under a light blanket. Mom, Jungkook called, his voice softening. This is Yin. Her eyes brightened. At last, she held out a hand. Come here, dear. Yin set the cake box on the table, stepped closer, and bowed slightly. Hello, Auntie. I'm Yin. I stopped by because I heard you weren't feeling well. So sweet, Jungkook's mother said, touching Yin's hand, eyes misting. You're beautiful. Yin blushed. Thank you, Auntie. This is your favorite cake, or so I've heard. Oh my, his mother chuckled. My son must have spilled the secret. Jungkook shook his head, pride flashing in his eyes. She figured it out herself. A moment later, Jungkook's father came down the stairs, steps light, and upon seeing Yin said, "So this is Yin, welcome." "Nice to meet you, uncle," Yin replied with a polite bow. They continued chatting warmly. The maid began setting the dinner on the dining table, and Yin joined them for the meal. She was truly welcomed by Jungkook's parents. Their relationship wasn't just approved, it was warmly supported. Before Yin went home, Jungkook's mother asked for her phone number. They exchanged numbers, and their bond grew stronger with each passing day. Since the day Yin met Jungkook's parents, their days went back to normal. Classes, assignments, club meetings, basketball practice, everything felt steady. Yin also tried to hold back her jealousy. At least for the first few weeks, she did pretty well. But as the inter-university tournament approached the following week, Jungkook's schedule got tighter. Practice intensity went up, rest time got cut. One afternoon, Yin waited in her room. Her phone lay on the blanket, screen lit, her chat full of blue bubbles with no replies. "Yin, what time does practice end? Yin, have you eaten? Yin, Jungkook, why aren't you replying?" The wall clock ticked. Each minute sounded louder to Yin as she focused on waiting for her boyfriend's reply. 3 hours later, a notification came in. "Jungkook, just finished practice. Can I call now?" Yin stared at the screen for a few seconds, then hit call. "Hey," Jungkook answered right away, his breathing still heavy, the echo of a gym in the background. "Sorry, I couldn't pick up earlier. Coach added drills. You're busy, I know," Yin cut in flat. "But you seriously couldn't check your phone for 3 hours?" "Yin, we're really not allowed to use our phones during practice. Full focus. During breaks, not even 1 minute to text, 'I'll update you later.'" There were breaks, but we used them for briefings and rewatching the tactic clips. "I swear I wasn't trying to ghost you." "Funny how you can open tactic videos but not my chat." Yin's tone climbed half an octave. "There's always something more important." "You know that's not fair," Jungkook said, keeping his cool. "The tournament's next week. Everyone on the team is getting pushed." "Does everyone include that super friendly team manager?" Yin snapped. From the stands, I could see her smiling at you nonstop. "She's just being polite. It's literally her job. And anyway, who do I go home with every day?" Jungkook lowered his voice, trying to be gentle. "With you." "If it's with me, why is my chat never the first thing you respond to when you're busy?" Yin exhaled sharply. "You were even online earlier." "Online because coach sent a tactic video to the group. I opened it for a bit, that's all. You never have a bit for me." A brief pause. On his end, shoes scraped the floor, maybe teammates passing by, but Jungkook stayed on the line. "I get that you were waiting, but we've had this pattern from the start. If I'm at practice, I'm off. When I'm done, I'll update you. I just did, and I called right away." "After everything else is done," Yin stressed. "After the things that are more important." "Yin, don't just Yin me," she said, swallowing the wobble in her voice and steadying it again. "I'm tired of waiting, tired of feeling like the backup girlfriend." "You're not a backup," Jungkook's tone firmed, but only a little. "You're number one, but being number one doesn't mean I stop having other responsibilities. And being your girlfriend doesn't mean I always have to understand." Yin bit her lip. "I'm asking for something simple. A quick reply, a heads up, so my brain doesn't run wild." "I hear you," Jungkook replied, slowing his pace. "But you also know, every time this happens, you circle back to suspicion. Who smiled at you? Why didn't you reply at this hour? I'm exhausted being the suspect." "So it's my fault?" Yin's breath heated. "I didn't say that. I'm asking you to trust me. I always trust you. I don't bug you when you're hanging out with your friends. I don't interrogate you when your meetings run late, because I trust you. Or because you don't care." "That's out of line," Jungkook said, firm now. "If I didn't care, I wouldn't be on this call right now explaining everything." Silence popped. The ticking clock in Yin's room seemed to slow in her ears. "Listen," Jungkook continued, softer. "I'm tired. You're tired. But I can't move at your pace 24/7. I'm human. I'm an athlete. There's a schedule I have to respect. And I'm your girlfriend," Yin said, voice cracking. "Who wants to be prioritized once in a while?" "You already are my priority," Jungkook replied. "But priorities take different forms. Sometimes it looks like I practice first so later we can be proud together, not I text back every 5 minutes." Quiet again. Yin shut her eyes, pride and emotion tangling. "Then fine, let's just break up." On the other end, Jungkook's breath hitched. "Are you serious?" Yin dared herself not to back down. "Yeah. A few seconds of dead air. When Jungkook spoke again, his voice was even, with the slightest tremor. Okay, if that's what you want. The words fell like a door closing. Yin gripped her phone tighter. Thanks for everything, she said quietly, as if reading a line she'd written herself. Take care, Jungkook answered at last. The call ended. The screen flipped back to Jungkook's profile photo, his faint sideline smile, which suddenly felt far away. Yin stared at the empty notification bar, then set the phone beside her pillow. In her chest, the anger went out all at once, leaving a loud, hollow space. She pulled the blanket up to her chin, staring at the ceiling and wondering how the word breakup had slipped out so easily. Across town, Jungkook stood alone at the edge of a court that was finally emptying. He opened Yin's chat window, typed, "I'll call again when I get home," then deleted it. Typed, "Sorry, I was too harsh earlier," deleted that too. He turned off the screen and stared at his reflection in the gym's glass door, worn out, disappointed, and for the first time, angry not at Yin but at himself for not lowering his tone before everything cracked. That night, they officially broke up, not for lack of love, but because two tired hearts refused to take even a single step back. A week had passed since the word breakup ended their call. On campus, Yin and Jungkook crossed paths now and then in corridors or the faculty courtyard. A brief glance, then both chose to look down and take a different route. Not out of hate, if anything, the leftover love in their chests was still too big to meet each other's eyes without cracking. The competition day finally arrived. Jungkook and his team won, and the crowd's cheers bounced off the gym walls. But inside Jungkook's chest, the victory felt like a wide room with the lights off. From outside the doorway, Yin stood behind the crowd, a baseball cap shading part of her face. She clapped softly when the scoreboard locked in the numbers, then turned away before the team came out to celebrate. Relieved, but also bittersweet. "Congrats, Jungkook," she murmured, to no one but the wind. Saturday night, Yin's phone buzzed on her desk. The name on the screen made her throat tighten. Jungkook's mom. "Hi, dear Yin. Tomorrow, Sunday, I'm celebrating my 50th birthday. Just a small gathering at home. Please come." Yin stared at the screen for a long moment. Did Jungkook not tell them we broke up? She wondered. She wanted to type a polite no, honest, clear, but the image of his mother's pale yet warm face kept her fingers from moving. What if her condition dips if she suddenly hears bad news? Asked Jungkook. Her pride stopped her. She closed her eyes, took a breath, and decided to follow her heart and go tomorrow. As the gate opened, Yin saw Jungkook's father standing in the yard with two uncles. "Oh, this is Yin," he called proudly, as if welcoming an old family member. "She is Jungkook's girlfriend." Yin glanced reflexively toward the front door. "No Jungkook," his father added. "He's still upstairs. Looks like he just showered. He's had a fever the last few days, and only started feeling better this morning." "I see, uncle," Yin replied stiffly, hiding the sudden wave of worry. Inside, Jungkook's mother greeted her with bright enthusiasm, pulling her into a gentle hug. "You made it. You look lovely." Yin was introduced to aunties and cousins, invited to sit, and pulled into light chatter with the rest of the family. The warmth in the room eased some of the weight on Yin's shoulders. 30 minutes later, slow footsteps sounded on the stairs. Jungkook came down, still a little pale, hair neat, wearing a hoodie and track pants. He paused near Yin, then sat beside her, keeping a polite bit of space. "Thanks for coming," he said softly, steady. Yin gave a brief look. "I didn't want your mom to suddenly crash if she found out we broke up," she answered, choosing the safe line. "Why didn't you tell them we're over?" Jungkook exhaled. "I wasn't ready to. I didn't want to. I still can't believe we were really done." Silence. No words for a moment, but their eyes met for a split second, enough to unlock all the longing they'd been holding back for almost 2 weeks. During the small party, Jungkook was unconsciously always within Yin's orbit. He brought her a drink, handed her a tissue when she laughed, and asked her to join a small family photo. Slowly, their old rhythm crept back. Short, easy exchanges, little jokes only they understood. As the evening settled, guests began to say their goodbyes. Yin took her leave on the porch, bowing politely to Jungkook's parents. She slipped into her car and started the engine, but before she could reverse, the passenger door opened. Jungkook got in, sat quietly for a few seconds, eyes straight ahead. "I won't take long," he said gently. "I'm sorry, I was harsh. I shouldn't have raised my voice, and I should have explained with a cooler head." Yin tightened her grip on the wheel. "I'm sorry too. I should have learned to trust. I was too suspicious." Jungkook turned. The eyes Yin had avoided for nearly 2 weeks met hers now without walls. "Yin," he whispered, "can I ask for a second chance?" Yin's chest fluttered. She couldn't pretend she didn't love him. She still loved him, missed him every night. "You can," she said at last, honest and steady. A small pause followed, light, not scary. A faint smile tugged at Jungkook's mouth, the one Yin had missed. "Thank you, baby." He looked at her softly. "This time, I want us to set some new rules. Before practice, I'll send one text. When it's over, another one. Right away. If there's a break and I can, I'll try to update then too. And if either of us blows up, we pause for 15 minutes. No decisions while angry." Yin nodded, breath unsteady but relieved. "Deal, and I promise, I'll stop jumping to worst-case scenarios." Jungkook's smile warmed. He leaned in slowly, leaving room for Yin to pull back if she wanted. She didn't. Their kiss was brief and calm, more like a welcome home. The fierce longing of almost 2 weeks finally found a place to rest. No more hearts were hurting from holding it in. He looked at her for a long moment. "See you tomorrow on campus, baby. Drive safe, okay?" "See you tomorrow," Yin echoed, this time with a full smile. Jungkook slipped out and closed the door carefully. In the window, Yin saw his small raised hand. "I'm here." She waved back, then eased the car through the gate, taking home a heart that felt lit again. A few days later, Sunday morning, the air was crisp, and sunlight skimmed across the windshield. Jungkook was already waiting outside Yin's house. They'd planned it last night, a full-day date, since Yin's parents were abroad and the house felt too quiet. On the passenger seat sat a small paper bag, hot coffee, and a cinnamon roll for breakfast. Yin opened the door, slid in, and buckled up. The car smelled like coffee, pastry, and a hint of Jungkook's cologne. That's when she noticed his hand. Something was different. Her name, Park Yin, in fine lettering with a tiny heart beside it. "It's a tattoo? Is it real?" she blurted. Jungkook glanced over and smiled. "Real." "When did you get it?" Yin's voice dropped, half thrilled, half stunned. "Last night," he said calmly. Yin swallowed. "Jungkook, you didn't have to go that far. It's so obvious. What if?" "That's exactly why I want it visible." Jungkook cut in gently. "So everyone knows I'm yours. And so you know you're the only one in my heart. With this, no girl's gonna get any ideas about me." Yin went quiet. Her chest felt warm and a little guilty. "I'm happy, but I'm worried too." "Did it hurt?" "Stung a little normal." He lifted his hand so she could see it up close. "But it turned out nice, right? Simple, and I like how it looks." Yin nodded slowly, then leaned in and hugged him from the side, tight, lingering. Her lips brushed his ear. "Thank you," she whispered, soft and sincere. Jungkook smoothed a hand over her hair, patient as ever. "I know you get jealous and anxious easily. I don't want you carrying that around. I hope this helps your heart feel steadier." Yin hugged him tighter. "Yeah, I'll feel calmer after this." She pulled back a little and pressed a warm kiss to his cheek, quick, clean. "I love you so much. I'm so scared of losing you." Jungkook's eyes softened. "I love you too, baby." He nodded at the paper bag. "Breakfast first, then I'm all yours for the day." Yin let out a small laugh. "Thanks, my love." She kissed his cheek again and squeezed him in a quick hug. In that moment, she felt impossibly lucky to have him.